What's up, y'all? Welcome back to ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. And tonight, y'all, I'm here to preview the Tennessee Titans Week 2 game against the New York Jets. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, y'all. So let's start with the injury report. And for the Tennessee Titans, y'all, they have a clean bill of health as everyone will be playing in this game. So that is great news, y'all, to hear. You see safety Jamal Adams. He will make his Titans debut on Sunday, y'all. Last week, he was unable to play due to a hip injury, but he is ready to go this week, y'all. Let's listen to what Jamal Adams had to say ahead of his Tennessee Titans debut.
I'll be there. It's go time.
What's your patience been like getting to this point, Jamal, and how do you feel?
Feel good.
Yeah.
Feel
How
good.
excited to get out there and play?
Super excited, man. Obviously, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. I don't take my opportunities lightly. Obviously, I've been going through so many injuries over the course of the years, and I'm just grateful to be back out there with my guys and whatever I can do to help. That's what I'm here for.
Imagine you've been working here behind the scenes, and even when you haven't been practicing. You up to speed and feel good about where you are in this defense?
Yeah, I feel good. Again, man, whatever my role is, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, and when my number's called, I'm gonna show up.
And sorry I came in late when you were talking about the Jets, but it sounds like you have a lot of respect for them. Looking forward to seeing them again.
Absolutely. I mean, they drafted me. The Jets is tatted on me, man. That's it's part of my story. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously, my father, he was drafted to the Giants. I was drafted to the Jets, and my mom's from Yonkers, New York, and I got a lot of family up there. So, still have my house out there. So, it's still home. I'm not making it bigger than what it is. I have a lot of respect for everybody over there and what Joe Douglas has done thus far, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
In terms of getting up to small.
All right, y'all. So y'all just heard from the man himself, Jamal Adams, saying that he's ready to go, saying that he cannot wait to make his Titans debut. And y'all, and I'm very eager to see what he is going to bring to this football team because I really love Jamal Adams. I love his aggressiveness and his swagger that he possesses, y'all. So I can't wait to see what he does on Sunday. And then, y'all, the other good news we got is that starting right guard Dylan Radins, who suffered a hip injury last week against the Bears, he will be ready to go, y'all. Let's listen to Dylan Radins speak about his injury that he suffered on last Sunday.
Come about.
So that play, the earth hit me and the earth won. I landed on my shoulder, crunched the whole thing. Like I told the people earlier, it was the first time I ever had the wind knocked out of me. So I just remember laying there and I had no idea what was happening. So that whole thing happened, got x-rays, all that jazz, no brokenness or anything like that. So like I said, I feel solid these last two practices and I feel like I'm ready to go.
Like in game, you try to come back in and then you go back out again?
Yeah, I came back in and all the frontal stuff was good, but then I remember hitting Billings on the side one time and I was like, it's better for me to have Andrew Rupsich going at 100% than me, possibly not being able to make a block or do my job.
And how did you feel? I mean, as a unit, I know you say that you got to be better as a group. How did it feel for you being out there first time out? How you executed?
Yeah, I mean, it always feels good to be out there, and I was part of that group. So I mean, we made the mistakes that we made. I mean, I believe we gave up a sack on our side of the ball, so we just got to continue to communicate and continue to make those corrections and move forward. So I mean, I've been correcting mistakes and working the new technique this whole week, and yeah, I'm just excited to get back out there again and see what the corrections we made.
All right, so y'all just heard from Titans starting right guard Dylan Radins, and like Jamal Adams, y'all, he's ready to go. This is great news for us because last week, y'all, when Dylan Radins went out of the game and Andrew Repair, when he came into the game, y'all, it just did not go well at all. So I'm glad that Dylan Radins is back, y'all. Other than that, nothing noteworthy, on the injury report other than just, Jamal Adams, Dylan Radins, y'all. Then down to the Jets side of things, y'all see starting cornerback DJ Reed. He is listed as questionable with a knee injury. And then y'all see the Jets backup defensive lineman, Michael Clemens. He is listed as questionable as well with a tricep injury, y'all. So I expect both of those guys to play. I mean, DJ Reed, he's really the big one because he's one of the best number 2 corners in the NFL. Obviously, we know the Jets have Sauce Gardner, y'all. But I think a lot of people, dismiss DJ Reed, y'all. DJ Reed, he's a very good corner. So fully expect him to play, and he's going to, probably be going up against D-Hop. So I can't wait to see that matchup. All right, y'all. So now let's get into Zay's zippy keys to victory, y'all. And I think the first key is, man, we have to make Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable, y'all. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, right? He's one of the greatest throwers of footballs in NFL history. But at the end of the day, he is almost 41, y'all, coming off an Achilles injury. And we saw on a Monday night against the San Francisco 49ers, y'all, that he kind of looked like, an old version of Aaron Rodgers. He didn't look like the old Aaron Rodgers, y'all. He looked like an old version of Aaron Rodgers. Is he only threw, for 167 yards. Only threw the ball 21 times. It was very weird how they just did that. I mean, they ran the ball 19 times versus 21 passes. So, and I know that was Aaron Rodgers. That was his first game back in over a year. But still, kind of expecting him to throw the ball more, y'all. But Aaron Rodgers, there were times that he looked like his old self, and there were other times I was like, "Ooh, Aaron Rodgers just looks like an old version of himself." But y'all, we have to make Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable, which means we're gonna have to, generate pressure really from in our interior, defensive line, y'all, which would be, Big Jeff, Tavondre Sweat, and Sebastian Joseph Day, because the Jets do have two really good tackles, man. Tyron Smith, y'all, he's a future Hall of Famer. Morgan Moses, he's a really solid right tackle. So I think we're gonna have, kind of a hard time our edge rushers getting around those guys. But I think if we could create, that interior pass rush with, again, Big Jeff, T Sweat, and Sebastian Joseph Day, y'all, I think he can make Aaron Rodgers really uncomfortable in that pocket. I think we can get him, to move around a lot. And that's what you want, y'all, because Aaron Rodgers, at this point in his career, he doesn't have the same mobility that he used to have. So if you could get Aaron Rodgers moving around, I think that's going to be to our benefit, y'all, because if he's moving around like that, that means that gives us a little bit longer time to get to him. So key number one, y'all, is make Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable, y'all. All right, key number two, y'all, is make the Jets one-dimensional on offense. And, y'all, I'm really not afraid of the Jets wide receivers outside of Garrett Wilson. Listen, I know Allen Lazard, he had 6 catches for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns against the San Francisco 49ers, y'all. But I don't think Allen Lazard can keep that up, and especially going against our secondary, man. I mean, Legarius Sneed, Chidobe Awuzie, and Roger McCreary, I think he's going to have a very difficult time, y'all. I think as a whole, the Jets are going to have a very hard time passing the ball on our secondary. So I think because of that, y'all, we have to make the Jets one-dimensional, on offense. We got to force this team to run the football, y'all. And if we can force them to do that, I really love our chances, because on Monday night, y'all, against the San Francisco 49ers, the Jets only ran for 68 yards, and they ran it at a 3.6 yard per carry clip. Okay, which is really, really bad. Now, granted, the San Francisco 49ers have a really good defensive line, y'all, but I like our D-line, especially going against the Jets' interior offensive line. So, again, kind of piggybacking on what I was saying, creating that interior pressure on Aaron Rodgers, y'all, when we could do the same thing in the running game, right? If our defensive linemen can really blow things up in the backfield against Breece Hall. And Breece Hall is a very dynamic running back, y'all. But if we can blow things up and get to him, get a lot of tackles for loss, I think we could really cause a lot of problems, y'all, for this Jets offense. And again, I don't trust their wide receivers outside of Garrett Wilson. Now, let's see what Mike Williams does. He barely played, on Monday night, against the San Francisco 49ers. I get it. They were trying to ease him back into game speed. But even if Mike Williams plays, y'all, I mean, I trust that Chidobe Awuzie can lock him down. So I think our secondary can lock these wide receivers down. But we have to make them one-dimensional, y'all, on offense. We got to make them run the football, because if we do that, then the Jets going to have a very hard time moving the football against us. All right, y'all, key number 3 is that we have to stay away from Sauce as much as possible, y'all. Sauce Gardner, I think, is either the first or second best corner in the league. If you want to put Jalen Ramsey one, you can. If you want to put Sauce Gardner, you can, y'all. But, I mean, Sauce Gardner is an absolute baller, man. This dude is a ball hawk, y'all. I mean, we know the last 2 years he's been one of the league leaders in pass deflections. He's very physical in coverage, man. He's not afraid to get his hands on wide receivers and really just jam them at the line of scrimmage. So we have to stay away from this man as much as we possibly can. And that means, y'all, Will Levis is going to have to be very smart with the football. He's going to have to make very careful decisions because, man, Sauce Gardner is not a guy you want to try. Now, at some point, in the game, y'all, we're going to have to test him, right? Because he's going to be guarding either Calvin Ridley or DeAndre Hopkins. And I do trust Calvin Ridley or D-Hop to make a play against him occasionally. but we cannot target Sauce, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I just don't think we can do that, y'all, because he's too good to target him that many times. So we have to really try to stay away from him as much as we possibly can. Maybe that means we pick on DJ Reed, y'all. And again, DJ Reed, I mentioned earlier, I think he's a really good number 2 corner, but he gets a little banged up this weekend. Maybe DJ Reed is not going to play like his normal self. So if he does it, I think we can maybe, again, pick on him a little bit on defense, y'all. And if we can do that, and create some favorable matchups for our wide receivers, I think that would be a great thing for us. But, yeah, we have to make sure we do not throw Sauce Gardner's way too many times, y'all. And this is something that I hope Brian Callahan has been communicating with Will. Like, listen, even though I really like our two-headed monster that we have at wide receiver and Diop and Calvin, really, Sauce Gardner is one of the best corners in the league, and he can absolutely make plays on the football, okay? So do not target him that much, because he will make you pay, y'all. I've seen Sauce Gardner make so many quarterbacks pay. Okay, I remember his rookie season when the Jets went to Lambeau and played the Green Bay Packers, man, and Aaron Rodgers had a pretty bad game, y'all. There were a few times he targeted Sauce Gardner, and Sauce didn't even allow a catch. So this dude is as good as advertised, and Will Levis, again, y'all, he's going to have to make very, very smart decisions with the football. Last week he had a couple of times where he's made some boneheaded plays, boneheaded decisions. You cannot do this going up against a guy in Sauce Gardner because, again, he will make you pay and he will capitalize on your mistakes, y'all. And key number 4, we had to get Josh Wiley and Chig involved, y'all. And this kind of piggybacks off of key number 3. When I said we need to stay away from Sauce Gardner as much as possible, because we need to try to target the middle of the field, y'all. I think that's the big weakness for this Jets defense, because C.J. Mosley, while C.J. Mosley is still a good coverage linebacker, he definitely isn't the same coverage linebacker that he was, say, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Now that he's a little older, he's a little slower, he's less athletic, y'all. And then their other starting linebacker, Quincy Williams, and I really like Quincy Williams, y'all, but Quincy Williams is not great in coverage. Last year, he gave up 4 touchdowns in coverage, gave up almost a 94 passer rating in coverage. So I'm not really scared of Quincy Williams in coverage, y'all. So I think we need to get Josh Wiley and Chig involved. I was really surprised last week that Josh Wiley didn't even get targeted once, y'all, considering there have been a lot of hype surrounding Josh Wiley during training camp in the preseason. The fact in our first game he didn't even get a single target, y'all, that was really astonishing to me. And then the other thing that was surprising me is that Chig only had 2 targets. Now, luckily, one of those targets went for a 15-yard touchdown. That was an amazing catch by Chig, y'all. But the fact that our tight ends only had 2 targets total between both of them is really, really, really pathetic. We're going to have to get them involved because, again, y'all, the Jets do have Sauce Gardner. They have DJ Reed, even though he's a little bit banged up, y'all. And they also have Michael Carter, who's probably the best slot corner in the NFL. So they have a very talented trio of corners. And it's going to be, a little difficult on our wide receivers. Again, I love our wide receivers, but there are going to be times, y'all, that the Jets corners, they're going to have success against our wide receivers. So, again, we need to get Josh Wiley and Chig involved in the middle of that field because I think that's where we could really attack this Jets defense. I think the Jets, they're strong in the secondary, y'all. They're strong in the D-line, but I think their linebacker core, in terms of coverage, now, obviously, C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams, they're 2 very good linebackers. C.J. Mosley, is probably going to be a future Hall of Famer. But in terms of coverage, y'all, I'm not really scared of either one of those guys, especially, again, C.J. Mosley at this point in his career. So I think that means our tight ends are going to have plenty of opportunities to get open, y'all. And hopefully Brian Callahan is going to call some plays. So he has to draw up some plays, y'all. I feel like too many times last week he was just trying to, force the ball to Calvin Ridley or trying to get the ball to Tony Pollard, in the running game. But no, let's make things a little bit easier for ourselves. Because we got a lot of playmakers on this offense, okay? Let's get all of these guys involved. So, again, y'all, we have to get Josh Wiley and Chicago involved in this game. Trust me, it's going to be very important. Very important. Because those y'all that watch the New York Jets know the New York Jets have probably a top 3, if not their best secondary in the league, but definitely a top 3 secondary in the league. And we're not going to just be throwing for 300 passing yards, on their DBs. But we could have some success, y'all, in the middle of that field on their linebackers. So key number 4, again, is get Josh Wiley and Chig involved, y'all. And then the 5th and final key, y'all, is run that ball. It's very simple. We need to run that football. Y'all saw what Jordan Mason did on Monday night against the New York Jets, y'all. He had 147 yards and ran it at a 5.2 yard per clip average, y'all. I mean, that's insane. And Jordan Mason, this is the guy that had never started a game in his NFL career, and then he has almost 150 rush yards against the New York Jets, y'all. When the New York Jets they are a team that's seen as having potentially the best defense in the NFL, and he did that against them. Y'all, look at the running backs we have. Tony Pollard, and I talked about this a couple days ago, man. Tony Pollard just raised a level of speed and explosiveness that this team has been lacking for years, y'all. I mean, he had 82 rushing yards to his debut. Also had that nice 15-yard touchdown. Tajay, y'all, I was really shocked that we didn't get Tajay involved more, pass game and run game. But this is a game that we need to run that football. I know some people are going to say, well, Zay, don't you want your quarterback, Will Levis, to, get in more of a rhythm unlike he was able to do last week? Well, yes, I do want Will to get in a rhythm, y'all, but I also want to be smart, okay? And the Jets defensive line right now looks pretty vulnerable to me. Y'all, when the Jets traded John Franklin Myers in the offseason to the Denver Broncos, that really changed the outlook of their defensive line because although they have Quentin Williams, y'all. Quentin Williams is a top 3 defensive tackle in the NFL. Outside of him, though, I mean, Javon Kinlaw, y'all, let's be honest. Javon Kinlaw, he's decent. He's not John Franklin Myers. And Jermaine Johnson, y'all, he's still developing as a run stopper. So the Jets defensive line is good, but it's not, amazing like it was last year when they had John Franklin Myers, y'all. They don't have John Franklin Myers anymore. I think John Franklin Myers is a very underrated player. I think the Jets should have kept him. And now, Jets fans, y'all probably wish y'all kept him, right? Because if y'all kept him, y'all would never trade him for Hassan Reddick. But anyways, y'all, I digress. We need to run the football, right? We need to run it early and we need to run it often, y'all, because I think we have a ton of success. This is going to be a big game for this offensive line. Can they bounce back, y'all? Because last week in the first half against the Bears, we were running the ball officially. Then in the second half, we could not run the ball to save our life, okay? So can these big boys up front open up some running lanes for both of our, dynamic and explosive running backs, y'all, and Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears? If they can do that, then it's really going to open up things in our pass game, y'all, because that's going to force the linebackers to come down, and then we can, hit a bunch of play-action passes with Tyler Boyd and Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, D-Hop, and Tajay Spears. So we need to run the football, y'all. Again, we had a lot of success doing it last week against the Bears in the first half, not so much in the second half, but we just saw New York Jets defense give up almost 150 yards to Jordan Mason, y'all. Jordan Mason, no disrespect to Jordan Mason, but let's be honest, he's not James Cook, right? He's not Christian McCaffrey at the running back position, and he still had a ton of success against that New York Jets defense. So we need to run the football. Y'all, I know that's very boring. I know Titans fans are like, Zay, I thought we weren't going to be, running football team any longer. Y'all, we aren't, okay? But that doesn't mean we still cannot run the ball at all. Just because, yes, we're going to be a more dynamic team, y'all. We're going to be a team that passes the ball more than we runs it. Again, that does not mean we should just never run the ball at all. And against a Jets defensive line that's looking, again, vulnerable right now, I think we need to run the football, y'all. But with that being said, it is time for me to give y'all my winner of this football game, y'all. And I kind of went back and forth with this one. I'm not going to lie. But y'all, in the end, drum roll, please. Thank you. In the end, y'all, I have the Tennessee Titans winning this ball game 23-17, y'all. And the reason that I have the Tennessee Titans winning this game is when I really started to examine things, y'all, and I started to think about how I think the New York Jets are really going to struggle to move the ball on our defense. I'm like, I don't think they're going to get more than 17 points, y'all. And I believe that we're going to create at least one turnover. That's why I have us getting 23 points. I know people are probably thinking it was 8. Last week, I only scored 17 points. But, y'all, I think this week, we're going to score just enough points. It won't be 30 points. I know Titans fans, we are really, really ready to score 30 points in a regular season game, right? I mean, we haven't done it since 2022. But I don't think this is going to be the game because, again, the Jets do have a very talented defense, y'all. But I think in the end, we're going to be able to score just enough points. And I think our defense, y'all, is going to really, really, really lock down the Jets offense. Again, as I said earlier, I'm not really worried about the Jets wide receivers outside of Garrett Wilson. Now, Garrett Wilson, obviously, he's a very, very good player. But, y'all, I mean, Alan Lazard, I don't think he's going to be able to, get a lot of separation from Chido Awuzie. Mike Williams and I guess Roger McCreary's probably going to be guarding Mike Williams. Yeah, I know Mike Williams has the height advantage of that matchup, but Roger McCreary is a very good coverage corner, and y'all, and Mike Williams, he's still trying to recover from the ACL injury. So, again, I just think when you factor all those things together, y'all, I think the Tennessee Titans are going to get this done. Again, I think we're going to force a turnaround on defense because I do expect us to get a lot of pressure in Aaron Rodgers' face, y'all. Y'all see, I have Big Jeff Simmons on the screen right now. I think Big Jeff is going to have 2 sacks this game. I think he's going to have a monster game. And look, I like the Jets center, Joe Timmons. He's a really solid young player, y'all, but he's going to get some monster in Big Jeff. I think Big Jeff is going to have a monster game for us. He's just going to create a lot of havoc. Him and T. Swift, I think Big Jeff is going to get a couple of sacks, like I said, in this game, y'all. And I think because of that, we're going to get our first win in the season, improve to 1-1, y'all, and not get off to a disastrous 0-2 start. Because, y'all, let's be honest, if this team got out to an 0-2 start, it would be pretty bad because even last year, as bad as we were, we didn't start 0-2. At least we started 1-1. So this team definitely needs to start 1-1. And they realize that we need to win this game, y'all. If we got any shot of shocking the world this year and going to the playoffs, we need to win this game because this is a winnable game. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game, right? Because I only have us winning by 6. I don't have us blowing out the Jets. But this is definitely not a difficult game, y'all. The most, I think, difficult part about this game is just the Jets' defense. But again, the Jets, I think, have, some weaknesses on their defense. Their defensive line, not having John Franklin Myers anymore. Again, their linebacker core in terms of their coverage skills and ability. So I think, y'all, the Titans, again, we're going to get it done. This is going to surprise a lot of people. It seems like everybody has the Jets winning this game. But I had the Titans, y'all, prevailing and winning 23-17, man. So there y'all have it. That was my Tennessee Titans Week 2 preview against the New York Jets, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Yeah, y'all, I'm going to have a couple of WNBA videos coming out soon, man. Trust me, y'all, still been keeping up with the WNBA. I'm trying to stay, on top of all this content for y'all. WNBA, NFL, and college football, y'all. I might go live tomorrow in the morning to get my college football picks. If y'all like that, I might do it. I might just do, just give it to y'all in the video format. But yeah, I might go live. It'll be early, obviously it'll be early, but I might come on here, y'all, and give y'all my Week 3 college football picks and predictions. But we shall see. Remember, y'all, laughter is good medicine, so make sure you get your daily dose. I don't know, I'm an ending, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.